Hello, today we're going to show you how to write some code and connect to a database with Full Stack Basic. We'll begin with the page we designed in our previous video, and the first thing we'll do is make sure all the elements that we're going to access from code have names. That row we're going to access from code. So the first button we'll work on, the Add New Movie button, we'll start creating code by using the builder on the onClick event. So this button is going to show and hide other buttons as necessary, and it's going to show that hidden new movie row. So there we are, hiding the Add New button, showing the Cancel button, and showing the Save button. We'll also show that hidden new row. So far so good. We'll blank out those fields as well, just in case a previous new record data was hanging around. And we'll now work on the Cancel New Movie button. It's going to do the opposite of the Add New Movie button. So just copy and paste the code and change hides to shows and vice versa. All very good. Now we'll give that a test in our emulator. Add new movie, cancel, add new, cancel. All very good, it's working. Okay, the Save New Movie button, same thing. We'll go into the event builder. We'll copy some of the code from the Cancel New Movie button, because it's going to do the same things. Now, the Save New Movie button's going to need to call some code on the server. So it's going to have a function called Save New Movie, and we're going to pass to it a single variable of type movie record, and that's going to hold all the details of our new movie. So it's going to have some fields, movie title, who it was watched by, when it was watched, so forth. There we have it. Now we'll create that function to run on the server called Save Movie. There we go. And there it is, taking a parameter, that is our movie record type that we just defined. Okay, first thing it's going to want to do is to connect to the database. So we'll dimension a database connection, and we'll assign it to a function that connects to the database. And the function requires server name, database name, username, password, which I'll change before you get to see this. So then our Save Movie function is going to build an insert statement. It's just going to dynamically build it. There it is, insert into our movie table that we've previously set up. It's going to build the screen using the information that was passed. Uses that replace function to replace quotes with double quotes so that we don't get SQL injection attacks. And it's going to execute that SQL statement with the get record set method, and we'll disconnect from the database. So that's our server-side function for creating a new movie record. Notice in basic. Now we've got to call it. So back onto our Save New Record, Save New Movie function. Okay. First thing we need to set up our movie record object so that we can pass it to the server. So we assign all the fields taken from the screen one by one. There we go. Then, because the new movie function runs in the server, we're going to use a function called remote call, and it takes a parameter that's got some extra parameters which we need to set up beforehand, and we'll do that now. The remote call parameters has extra parameters for remote calls, and also returns error messages and things if it fails. So there's remote call, calling Save Movie, passing the extra parameters, and save movie gets that new movie set of details. And that's done. So that's our server call for creating a new movie done. Now, so what we might do now is to just add the new movie details to the list. We'll find out how many there are already. Add one, and then redim the rows on the screen, because you may recall that table has rows as an array, which means we can redim them. So we'll redim the rows on the screen. Then we'll loop through all the records returned and put them on the screen. Oh, sorry, not return. We will add the new row to the screen, and then we'll copy our new details into the last and the new row. That's all good. Give it a quick save. We'll run it in the emulator, see that it works. Because it's got server-side code, we need to deploy it, because the emulator does actually make some server-side calls. Let's see, add a new movie. Watched a movie overnight. Okay, it's a zombie movie. 3 stars. That's alright. There we go. It's looking good. Working good so far. Now, we'll move on to getting some data from the database. So we'll do that with the search button. Once again, there's a builder on the on-click event. This is also going to need to run code on the server. So we'll create a function called getMovies, and it's going to return a SQL Server or SQL database record set. So a function called getMovies, no parameters. Okay. First thing it needs to do is to get a database connection. Okay. It's going to need to have an SQL select statement. Okay, it's going to return the data in an SQL record set, which it will get from executing the select statement on the connection. Okay. Get record set. And here we go, select statement, rapidly typed. And we'll disconnect and we'll return those records. So that's our second server-side function. And now to call it from the browser. Once again, we need to call the remote call function and have the remote call parameters set up. But this one here is going to return data. So at our record set up to receive the data, make the call, get movies, no parameters. You'll notice no callbacks, no JSON, no mucking around with trying to line things up between the server and the browser. The tool does that all for you. Nothing left to do. Okay, so we'll just get the number of rows returned, the upper bound of an array, because that table on the screen has rows in an array, which we can redim. Okay, then we'll loop through the rows returned and put them on the screen. Just a basic for next loop. Okay, we'll get a handle to the row from the record set to make things simpler for us, because a query can return more than one set of rows. And then for each row, just put all the fields on the screen. And do that for all fields. There we go. And I think we're done. Deploy it. Run it. Search. And there it is, all from the database. We'll have a quick debug of it. And here we go. Step over, step over. Oh, actually, we want to step into that remote call. Go back to it. Step into. Here we go. Stepping into our server function. We can actually change code and change variables. Have a look at some of our data here now. So record set 1, row 3, field 4, use a date. Yep. And we'll let that run. Okay. Now let's deploy it to our web server and see how it goes. Okay, spot bug. Our next video is going to have a look at debugging. There it is, searching works. Put in some new info. Yeah, it's a better move than that. Okay, and that's all done. Here we go, hit save, there it is, appears, search, and it comes back again. And stick around, next episode, debugging. Pretty impressive. See you then.